everyone. I hope you're doing well. I chose to sit outside today because of my story, and I think by the end of the story you'll be able to make that connection of why I'm out here. Now, before I tell my true story, think a minute about the biggest gift you've ever gotten. Remember? Okay, well, some gifts are so big, they're everywhere, and we might forget that they are gifts. So for my story today, I have to go way back to the beginning. Well, actually a little before the beginning, when there was nothing except God. On the first day, God created light. Here. Now, I don't mean a light bulb or a night light or even a flashlight. I mean light. Whatever makes light, that's what God gave us on that first day. And He looked at light and He said, "It is good." Now, on the second day, God created water and the sky. Now again, I don't mean the water you drink out of a glass or the water you might take a bath or a shower in. I mean water everywhere. And God looked at the water in the sky and He said, "It is good." And day 3, God gave us the gift of dry land and things growing on the dry land. And He looked at the land and the things growing and He said, "It is good." Okay, day 4, God gave us the gift of great lights in the sky. And He gave us the sun to help guide our days, and the moon and the stars to help guide our nights. And He looked at these great lights and He said, "It is good." On the 5th day, God gave us the gift of fish that swim in the sea or the ocean, and the birds that fly in the sky. And He looked at the fish and the birds and He said, "It is good." On day 6, God gave us animals that walk on dry land and people. And He looked at the animals and He looked at people and He said, "It is good." Then on day 7, God rested. And He gave us day 7 so that we can find a special place and remember all these amazing gifts from God. So I wonder if you have a special place where you go and remember all these amazing gifts from God. So did you make the connection of why I came outside today to tell my story? All these gifts from God. Take care and be well.
I hope you're having a great week. Isn't summer great? You can be outside, we can enjoy God's creation and all that's in it. So this week, I'm practicing noticing what's in God's creation, noticing all the gifts God has given us. Did you know that God created the world and all that is in it? And God is the only one who could create something out of nothing. Can you do that? I know I sure can't. God did make us to be creative, and I'm going to ask you to be creative sometime this week too. But for right now, let's take a look at a little bit of God's creation. This is one of my favorite plants. Do you see those ferns right there? See how it's so symmetrical? Each tiny little leaf makes up a tiny little branch, and the tiny little branches make up bigger branches, and they fan off into larger branches. And then if you look even further, you can see that the floor of the woods here is covered with these ferns, which makes it so beautiful. So God made the world and everything in it. This week, as you're walking around your neighborhoods or wherever you are, notice the trees and all the detail in them. Notice the plants and the animals and even the dirt on the ground. Can you find a particular rock, or here's a shell? Isn't that beautiful? Or a shell that's special? Take a picture, draw a picture, create something that shows how beautiful God's creation is, and notice it. And then say thank you to God for all of these special gifts that God has given us.